Hey guys, what's up? So I got an exciting review for you today because we're talking about what I think is a really good fragrance, but also a relatively unique fragrance and an interesting one. Now, it's from the house of Micallef or Micallef, and I'm not gonna say this is the next best thing out there. It's not like, it'll be mind-blowing for a lot of people, but I think there are facets of this that are actually really interesting, and it reminds you of a kind of family of scents that isn't so popular. It's not so mainstream in my opinion. So the fragrance is Eden Falls, again from M. Micallef, and this one comes in this really nice, cool feeling blue bottle. It's a unisex fragrance like most Micallef fragrances, and it's a relatively new release, released in 2021. So the thing that's, I know in the thumbnail, when you see the thumbnail, you might be like, wait, how is this related to Aventus? In fact, the fragrance from the house that gets compared to Aventus is Royal Vintage, as you know. It's sort of a smokier, earthier version of, less transparent than Aventus. But I have a point that I was trying to make, which is that this fragrance, so when you first spray it, it comes across, actually, you know what, I need to remind myself. So it's got this amazing opening that immediately you detect that it's a really fruity, juicy kind of scent, but it has this undertone of mossiness. And so what I thought immediately was, ooh, this is a really balanced fragrance, just like something like Aventus. And, in sort of fragrance terms, I would call this a fruity, cheaper fragrance. So it's this kind of blend of really earthy, mossy core with the fruity opening. And I guess it became trendy with Aventus, but then I don't think there's so many fragrances that hit that kind of chord. But I would classify this the same way. Now, I think my favorite part actually is the opening, because of it feels more unisex than in the dry down, where it leans slightly feminine to me. The interesting thing about this one is it reminded me right away of a couple fragrances, and actually it reminded me of some scents I'd smelled before, but I couldn't really remember, and then it just came to me. And those are Nishane's Ambre Calabria and Acqua di Parma's Mandorlo di Sicilia. And it makes so much sense because when you look at the notes, so Mandorlo di Sicilia is obviously an almond-based fragrance, but also, if you look at my review, I really talk a lot about the vanilla note in there. It's a very vanilla-forward scent. And then this too is a very vanilla-centric scent, in my opinion, that's also fresh, fruity and woody at the same time. But there's this really heavy dose of kind of a vanilla accord. Now, I was a little bit hesitant because I think the note listed is some sort of mousse, which sounds a little bit too sweet, too creamy. And in fact, it does have a little bit of that sweet bubblegummy feel, that kind of sweetness, cotton candy, I would say, kind of sweetness, but it's not overbearing. It comes close, maybe a little bit. I would want it toned down a little bit, but it's still really well balanced and really good, fresh feeling scent. Now going to Ambra Calabria, it's got a very similar structure. I think you take the juiciness, the juicy opening, bergamot-like opening in Ambra Calabria, and you mix it with the fluffiness that you get in the overall feel of Mandorlo di Sicilia, and you get this, right? So it's sort of very similar to that. And then of course the heart of this fragrance is jasmine, and jasmine is there from start to finish, and it again, I would say, is a big part of the scent. I do like jasmine, fragrances, jasmine scents, but to me it does lean, a little bit feminine because of that note. Yeah, so I think I think I talked about the fragrance from Ormond Jane, one of their kind of jasmine-based scents, or if I didn't, then I definitely sampled it before. And Ormond Jane, it was a really good quality jasmine scent, and it's similar here, a little bit kind of indolic and very full and kind of thick, flowery sort of feel. And yeah, and then mixing with the sweetness, it can come across a little bit, I wouldn't say powdery, but rather more fluffy and kind of cloudy, right? So it gives this kind of, it could be a little suffocating just because it's not got, I think fragrances that are more piercing tend to be cleaner, sharper, maybe a little bit easier for some people, whereas this is an eau de parfum that feels like it. So it has a little bit of that like classic feminine feeling touch. So you have to be okay with unisex scents, but I would say it's a unisex fragrance. So if you like those, then definitely give this one a try. It's a perfect anytime wear kind of scent. Definitely great for summer and whatever high heat. And on that note, one thing that I think they really nailed in terms of imagining a scent and in terms of the campaign is, well, the color and then the name, right, which is actually what drew me to the scent, Eden Falls, and then the waterfall concept, right? So if you look at their advertisement, it's like this, just like paradise kind of waterfall. And you definitely, this scent, what I mentioned I like the opening the most, it's because it has this kind of clean blue feel, and I don't mean blue, the way that a lot of people talk about blue fragrances, right? Not in that way, but really like the sky blue, right? Really airy, and at the same time, a slight kind of wateriness. So it sort of feels like you're standing in like, those Icelandic, waterfalls, the famous ones. And so in a cool climate, and you get the water, and then you feel the cold air, that's coming from the waterfall. So I think that definitely this fragrance feels cool like that, and that's what I like. Despite the sweetness and fruitiness, the mossiness just balances everything out. It's not a kind of dirty feeling scent at all. So I think this is definitely a must try for anyone who likes fruity or floral scents and slightly unisex leaning scents. And as with all Micallef fragrances, well, first of all, it's a great value, but I think it's a really safe scent, right? So I have not, really disliked any of their fragrances. I think they're all safe. The one kind of nitpicky thing I'll say about the house is most fragrances remind me of something else, but they feel like a little bit of an upgrade, like a little bit smoother and better blended and higher quality ingredients. So that might actually be really good, right? Really mass appealing and kind of a niche level. So give this one a try and let me know what you think about other fragrances in the house. There's one that I was looking at even before this that I still haven't tried, which is Osaito. Couldn't find many reviews on it. It looked like a pretty good aquatic scent. I just was curious to see how unique it was, because some people were saying it was quite unique. So let me know if you've tried that, and what's your favorite from Micallef. I think this is one of the top 3 houses for me because of the kind of value and quality and mass appeal and easy wearability. So there's my review of Eden Falls. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.